This is Prep Period, an all-sports podcast by the Ventura County Star and the people at VCS Preps.
Hello and welcome to episode 33 of Prep Period, the Ventura County Star's all preps, all sports podcast. My name's Dominic Massimino. He is Joe Curley. I've got the head thing down, Joe. We are sports reporters here at the Ventura County Star, coming to you with yet another exciting episode. Joe, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing lovely. I just came from a riveting baseball game that we will talk about shortly, and looking forward to a very busy Thursday and Friday coming up.
It's going to be awesome. Joe is caffeinated up for this show, for this late night show. I am pretending that I'm caffeinated for this late night show. We're going to do something a little different real quick. Let's tell you guys what we're going to do this episode so you actually know what's going to happen. We're going to just run through a couple of quick points. Here's the news you need to know and the news you're going to learn more about later in the show. First, Wolfgang Wood, the great St. Bonaventure coach, talented young coach who has led the Seraphs for the last 6 seasons, steps down at St. Bonaventure. He is going down to San Diego to take the head coaching job at San Diego powerhouse Cathedral Catholic.
So from basketball, we'll now go to baseball. The great city rivalry in Simi Valley. Simi Royal played their second and third games of the season this week, and the first game today went to Simi, which means that Royal suffers its first loss in Coastal Canyon League play. They are now tied going into a mouth-watering matchup on Friday. Dusty Dunwoody is going to get the ball against a freshman, and just absolute massive moment in local baseball on Friday.
Number 3, we have the Cal Lutheran men's volleyball team reaching their third straight Final Four, NCAA Division III Final Four. They will play tomorrow afternoon. We have a story out about that right now. Thursday afternoon in Springfield, Massachusetts. Yeah,
Springfield, Mass.
You know a little something about that.
A little bit.
The birthplace of volleyball, I was told by my esteemed colleague.
Yes. Volleyball, basketball.
There you go.
Created everything. We're going to stay with college sports, surprisingly, on the pod. Ventura County has produced arguably, one of the best college baseball players, several of the best college baseball players, but one of the very best college baseball players, and one of the very best college women's lacrosse players. So we're going to talk a little bit about Dylan Volantis, Westlake's Dylan Volantis, who absolutely shoves for Texas baseball and SEC play over the weekend. And Daniela Gayette, our former girls lacrosse player of the year, who's backstopping Syracuse into the ACC semifinals in women's lacrosse.
And finally, you guys are going to find out who the first Ventura County high jumper since 1994 to clear the 7-foot barrier was. We are going to have him on the show later today. Spoiler alert, it's Dean Guzman from Moorpark High. And that's who we're going to talk about coming up right now.
I love that tease. You gave it away.
Let's go ahead and give the Deuces stat of the week real quick with a little track teaser before we go into the track. Newbury Park alumni and current Northern Arizona University star Colin Salmon ran the 7th fastest 800-meter race in NCAA history at the Brian Clay Invitational right here in California, running 1 minute 44.42 seconds. That is blazingly fast, picking up right where he left off after setting an indoor NCAA record in that same event, Joe.
Imagine covering a high school track meet where Colin Salmon's running the 800 and Nico Young is running the 1600. And
you had it you had it made before I got here, man.
There's like not enough room in the paper to write everything that needed to be written. It was so great. Those were heady days about 5-6 years ago.
There you go. And then real quickly, let's go through the Ventura orthopedics athletes of the week. First, Santa Paula senior softball player Anaya Davis. First baseman had huge performances at the plate as the Cardinals won 3 games last week. On Tuesday, she had a 3-run homer and a 16-1 win over Wainimi in a Citrus Coast League game. Scored 2 runs in an 18-0 win over Carp in a league game on Thursday. And then she pulled off a rare feat on Friday. She goes 4 for 4 and hit for the cycle.
Whoa.
For a single in the second inning, a double in the fourth, and a homer in the fifth, and a triple in the seventh, and finished with 4 RBIs in an 8-6 victory over Village Christian, a close game, non-league game there. She's hitting .441 this season for Santa Paula, which is 9-9 overall and 5-1 in league play. Nothing like playing great softball for a team that is playing great softball.
A couple kudos there. One, for John Canaliti for writing the way he wrote that comment, having which inning each of those hits and the order in which they came in. Love that.
You don't get that everywhere.
No, tremendous writing. We got to credit John where credit's due. And Anaya Davis, also a member of the Stars all-county soccer team, striker for the Cardinals. So multi-sport star. And then let's mention Shane White of Foothill Tech, baseball senior outfielder and pitcher, used his bat and arm to help the Dragons win 3 games last week. On Tuesday, he was 2 for 3 with a solo shot and a double. That's 6 total bases in a 2-1 win over Grace in TVL play. Lefty, he's a lefty, tossed a 2-hit shutout, had a double, 2 RBIs in a 9-0 win over Grace on Thursday. He finished the week by going 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs in a 8-4 win over University of Irvine in a non-league game. White is hitting .339 for Foothill Tech, which is 13-10, and tied for first with St. Bonaventure at 6-0 in Tri-Valley League play.
Our naming convention doing school name of location for University of Irvine is is like wait, they played who?
Yeah, we'll credit John for the first bio and then give him a little crap for the second.
There you go.
A little bit of he needs to edit himself there.
So we will jump back to track and field to the news item that I just couldn't keep you guys in suspense for after that tease in our intro. It is, I mean, just before we get started, the track season, I thought it was going to be exciting. It's been that. And it's been more, and every single week we've had more and more just incredible performances. This is shaping up to be one of the great Ventura County track seasons, and it just keeps getting better and better.
Just getting started too.
Yeah,
just getting started.
We haven't had league championships yet, Joe. So, and a huge part of that this past week was Moorpark senior Dean Guzman, who he clears the 7-foot barrier. We were talking today with Dean. There are barriers in track and field. There's these round, even numbers. There's the 4-minute mile. There's things like that. And in high school track and field, the 7-foot mark in high jump it's the cream of the crop. It is that barrier that once you break it, you are in, very, very impressive company. And he does that at the Mount Sac Invitational, wins Mount Sac. Sets a new school record, moves to number 5 on the area all-time list, number 4 on the Ventura County all-time list, and he is tied for number 8 in the United States right now.
Oof.
In that event. There are 14 athletes across the country who have cleared
in the entire country.
In the entire country. And
good reporting, Dom.
Thank you. And we are going to talk to Dean Guzman right now. We got an exciting guest with us here. It's Moorpark High senior high jumper Dean Guzman. Dean, it's been quite the past week and a half for you here. You clear 7 feet to win the Mount Sac Invitational, the prestigious Mount Sac Invitational. You're one of only 5 high jumpers in the history of this area. I'm not sure we told you this yet. 5 high jumpers in the history of this area to have cleared the 7-foot mark. So joining very rarefied air. Just tell us about, what's been going through your mind these last couple of days after that 7-foot clearance and joining that incredible group of high jumpers in the history of our area.
Well, honestly, ever since I hit it, I've been really proud of it, if I'm being honest. It was a really good day that day, that Mount Sac day. I also met Mike Powell. He's like the world record holder for Olympic long jump, and I got a picture with him. So it was just like that was like a great day. And like ever since then, I've just been like honestly just like really proud, just really amazed of like the 7-foot jump. I like watch it. My mom is on video and I watch it all the time. Like I'll like go by and I'll just watch it because like it was just like it's just like everything clicked and like it's just like I don't know. It just reminds me of like how everything I've worked to like kind of came and showed through that jump and the other jumps obviously, but that jump was great.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that work, like you clearly have had, really impressive incremental growth and improvement just over your time at Moorpark. You weren't always a 7-foot high jumper. Last season we were writing about Davis Benson's big 6'10", mark, and you were in that program. You were growing, you were developing. Just what's happened in the last year and a half for you that's allowed you to just take these this massive leap, so to speak.
Obviously I'm newer to high jump, so I haven't been doing it for very long, so I think that I haven't like maxed out my potential yet. And I think when I started out, I was like a little bit of a late bloomer. Like I've gotten a lot taller. And then I kind of like finished growing, and then I was able to like jump higher, and then it was just like through videos I would just like see what I need to work on. Like it was started with bigger things, just like keeping my head back, like just stuff like that, and then I just narrowed it down more and more and more, and just kept working on it in practice, just drilling it in practice, trying to make it more muscle memory, especially over the bar stuff. Like you don't want to be thinking about that. So I kind of try to make it so it would just happen. And that 7-foot jump is a great example of it just happening. So recently I've been doing a lot of backovers for that. And I'm going to keep working because there's even in that video, there's stuff that needs to be improved just so I can jump higher.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, you were mentioning today, I stopped by that, Moorpark practice. You were mentioning it was your third attempt at 7 feet. Is that correct? That you finally cleared it?
Yeah.
So just what's going through your mind when, you have those minor adjustments, you barely touch the bar with your elbow on one of those jumps, and then you finally, clear it, you're on the mat looking up, you see the bar still, standing there strong, hasn't dropped off. Just what was going through your mind in that moment?
Well, my first attempt, I was like hyped up after making 6'10". And I was like, okay, let's go send it, like go for 7. And I go, and I felt that I was over it, and then I felt hitting it with my elbow. So I was like, oh man, like I had the height, like it was just elbow. So my next jump, I was like, oh, I have the height, like I'm just gonna go again. And then that jump wasn't as good. And then I was like, okay, I just gotta reset for my 7-foot jump, and just really just like I just kind of focus. I like to visualize it. I like to like imagine myself and like count my steps and like imagine my plant, like visualize my plant and like visualize every aspect of it. And I just took a deep breath. I started to clap, and then I did it. And it was honestly like, I knew I made it without like, before I even hit the mat. Cause like, it was just like, I didn't touch the bar at all. Like there was no contact whatsoever. The bar didn't jiggle, like it didn't shake. I got up. I knew the bar was up. I was just so happy. Oh, I was just so happy.
How often do you get the crowd going with the clap? Was that a rare thing for you, or do you do that most of the time?
That's a rare thing for me. Some guys, they clap for everything. I personally saved it. I didn't even clap for 6'10". I clapped for 7 and 7'1", only because it's just, how can you not clap? It's 7 feet.
Yeah,
I was like, I gotta start a clap.
You wanted that extra little boost from the crowd, and you got it. It sounds like.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really impressive. It was cool.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about just how special the event of high jump has been in Ventura County with your teammate Davis Benson. We mentioned cleared 6'10" last season, and with a newcomer, freshman Bryshawn McGee over at Pacifica. We just wrote about him as well. He's the number 1 freshman in the nation, having cleared 6'8". You guys are all up there in that that really high echelon for California. How excited are you about Friday's meet, Ventura County Championships, getting to have the 3 of you go at it and see who comes out on top?
Honestly, I'm really excited. The meet record, I was looking at that, is 6'11.75. So I'm looking to beat that on Friday. But I'm really curious to see the freshmen. That's impressive. That's I know Davis was jumping 6'8" then too. So it's just really impressive to like jump that high. So I just want to see it because I like that wows me. I just think it's impressive like at that young to be jumping that high, especially he's newer to high jump. So honestly, I'm excited. I'm excited for Friday. It should be a lot of fun.
Man, Dean, thanks so much for fitting us in this evening, and best of luck. Looking forward to seeing what you guys do on Friday.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for calling me. I really appreciate this call. It was a lot of fun.
What an awesome interview there with Moorpark High senior Dean Guzman. Thanks.
Good, great job.
Thanks to him for coming on and talking all about that incredible mark. It was not the only incredible mark that came out of the Mount Sac Invitational, not by a long shot. Let's go over to Oaks Christian senior Vin Kruger, who was the 2025 Ventura County Star Boys Cross Country Athlete of the Year. So that's 5,000 meters show. He goes down to 800 meters, which has become something of a specialty for him on the track these last couple of seasons. And he runs 1 minute 50.42 seconds to win the 800 at the Mount Sac Invitational. That breaks the Lions' oldest program record, Eric Meisner's 1:44.29 mark from 2005, the season that he became the first Oaks Christian track athlete to win a CIF title. That is a U.S. number 11 time this season. These are absolutely mind-boggling marks. And then a name that we've talked so much about, Jaden Griffin from Newbury Park, breaks his own 100-meter Ventura County record again by 0.02 seconds again. He goes from 10:43 to set that Ventura County record to start. That was at the Don Green Invitational. Then he goes 10:41 at Arcadia, and then he goes 10:39 at Mount Sac. He finishes second, and he also moved to number 4 on the all-time Ventura County boys 200-meter list with a wind legal 21.15 seconds for second place in the seeded race at Mount Sac. Just crazy stuff from him on the track. And then the last little item from Mount Sac on the track side, we wrote a story about the Calabasas girls running one of the fastest times all time in California history in the 4x1. They fell to Rosary at the Arcadia Invitational in that race that Rosary sets the new California record. They come back and beat Rosary at Mount Sac with the upset, 44.48 seconds to 44.94 seconds. They run the third fastest time in the United States this year in that race. Just absolutely crazy stuff this season on the track, Joe, and it just keeps getting better.
And it's just getting started.
Just getting started indeed.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your reaction to that? I feel like I like to kind of bounce this off of you a little bit, Joe, because you've been covering this sport in this area for a long time. Like, just where is this early season before we even get to league championships? Where does this kind of feel like it ranks for you, and in terms of the history?
I mean, all it does is make me look forward to league and postseason, all the postseason meets, because a lot of these athletes are going to be competing against each other and pushing each other. And, can't wait till it's funny how, we'll be at CIF and we'll be huddled around the high jump. Is it a pit or a pad?
Yeah. Pit. Well, it's a pad, but it's called a pit.
Yeah. Okay.
We will be huddled around the high jump pit at Ventura County Championships on Friday. That's for certain.
We've been so focused. We mentioned this before. We've been so focused on distance for a decade that it is so cool to be focused on and throws. Honestly, I did about 10 years of some big time throws reporting. So there's been waves of athletes that we had the great throws decade of the 2000s. We had the last 10 years of distance running, and then the last couple of years, it's really the track has been burning up. So, you're just getting started with this, kind of rivalry with all these speedsters now. Can't wait to get them. You're going to cover the county meet, and, hopefully they'll all be running with each other. So against each other. And we know what happens when the fastest run against each other. So times get quicker. Or
the bounciest jump against each other. Credit to Dean. I loved his answer when I asked him about, jumping against Bryshawn McGee, the freshman from Pacifica. on Friday, and he's like, man, I just can't wait to see him jump. He's just like us, man. He wants to see wants to see all the studs go at it. So that's going to be really fun.
Cool.
Let's jump over to third period, Joe, and jump into one of those college stories. We caught up with the Cal Lutheran men's volleyball team just today. Talked to Coach Kevin Judd, talked to one of the local players in Braden Gonzalez, their star libero out of Thousand Oaks High School. They're back in the Final Four for the NCAA Division III men's volleyball tournament for the third season in a row. Remember, back in 2024, they won a national title. They made it to the Final Four. Sweeping Vassar. They made it to the Final Four last season. Do you know who they lost to in the Final Four last season, Joe?
No. Who?
They lost to a school by the name of Springfield College in Springfield, Mass.
There we go.
There's a couple more connections here.
Nickname.
There's a couple more connections here that make this story even crazier. So
cool.
So they lose to Springfield in the Final Four last season. They get swept. Braden Gonzalez, a Thousand Oaks High School alum, graduates Thousand Oaks 4 years ago, and where does he go? He goes to Springfield College in Springfield, Mass. Plays a season of volleyball there before coming home, spending some time at Moorpark College, and then winding up back home in Thousand Oaks at Cal Lutheran. He's played in that gym. He's played for that program, that Springfield College program. He lost to them, in the Final Four last year. And here he is again, another homecoming for him, just the other way around, going back to his old college for one more chance at making it to a national championship game. It's one of, Braden is just one of 5 local players that are a part of this team. Outside hitter Tyler Linville, who was teammates with Braden Gonzalez on that Thousand Oaks High School team. He's had 29 kills in the last 2 matches in their tournament run. You have Aiden Godfrey from Westlake High, Evan Ford and Garrett Ream from Royal, all part of this team. Gonzalez, for what it's worth, he's an All-American this season, set Cal Lutheran's single-season Diggs record with 301 and counting. Just Linville and Gonzalez in particular, those 2000 Oaks high school teammates have been huge on this run. So go tune in, go read our story about this upcoming match, and tune in tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific, to see what happens in that Final Four semifinal.
Off the top of my head, I do believe if they're able to win the next 2 matches, I think that would be Cal Lu's first multiple national championship program. Cal Lu's got 4, 5, 6 national championships.
Soccer recently, right? Am I remembering that
soccer,
right?
Baseball. They should have won multiple baseballs. When I was playing in the SCIAC in the mid-90s, they
was that a subtle flex? College athlete Joe. College athlete Joe.
You
right
too.
Here. Yeah.
We're both SCIAC athletes, my friend. But they were super good. And CLU should have won. I think they lost the national final that year. Let a lead get away, I think, in the mid-90s somewhere. But I know baseball. They may have won 2 national championships in NAIA football a long time ago. This is all stuff I could have looked up and had on, but I'm pretty sure they'd be the first program with 2 NCAA national championships. And then let's pivot a little bit to the bat sports. We're just going to set you up here. We're still a couple weeks away from the end of the baseball and softball high school seasons, but league play is really getting tight. Like we teased, Simi Valley and Royal, who had an absolutely unforgettable league race last year in which Simi came from behind and beat Royal twice in the last week of their league season to first tie, and then had a walk-off winner at home. I spoke to Evan Rodriguez, actually, the kid who had that hit, about that. So check our social for a video that's coming probably Thursday. But Kyle Casey, just unbelievable. He as a junior,
that kid is fun to watch.
The penultimate game, and got them to the final, and got them to kept them alive. And he did it again today. He only gave up 3 hits. He had 1 crooked inning where he gave up 3 runs in, I believe, the 4th inning. Where's my notepad? But Simi was in control and now starting to put a little pressure. Ryan Whitson had a great game. He was 3 for 4, had a beautiful bunt hit and a couple of doubles. Andrew Nicholas just crushed the ball, had a couple hits. And so they're now tied at 8-1 with Friday's game at Royal left. They're also it's not the last series of the year, so they'll play Oak Park and Cam respectively next week. But this is for if you look at the standings coming in, I think it's 16 of the 20 CCL games this year have been won by Royal or Simi. So
that is a great way of looking at it. Statistically, that is a great way of looking at it. Yeah.
Every game that Royal or Simi has played in, one of them has won, at least. And then the matchup for Friday is just phenomenal. Dusty Dunwoody, who we've mentioned, it is Dusty, by the way, now that I've interviewed him, and I'm working on my story, which will be check the VC Star soon for our story on Dusty Dunwoody.
Dusty instead of the Fuller.
Not Dustin.
Gotcha.
Not
Good
Dustin.
to know. This is like Gabs. This is like Gabs and Gabby. You ever see somebody call her Gabby?
His parents wanted to name. Here's the full story now. I don't even know if it's going to make the actual story. Here's what Dustin told. Here's what Dusty told me that his parents wanted to name him Dusty, but they named him Dustin just in case he was going to be a lawyer. No lawyer. Apparently, no lawyer. You can't be a lawyer if your name's Dusty. But yeah, I love it. So Dusty's, by the way, 8-0 with a 0.15 ERA right now. If the season were to end today, he'd have the third lowest ERA in the history of Ventura County.
Is he still allowed to be called Dusty if he's laying down the law on the mound? That's the best I can do. Sorry, man. That's all I had. Sorry. Please continue.
Laying down the law. And then they play Simi freshman Trenton Nelson, who's also undefeated, 4-0, 2.16 ERA. That is the unofficial pitching matchup for Friday on Royal Ave. That's just, if you look at it, that's who's been starting on Fridays for those two teams. So obviously it's one thing, obviously, Royal a little bit, they were 18-2, so they had their winning streak snapped. And the best thing, to give the ball to your stopper the next game after you have that streak stop, with your league season on the line. I mean, that's Dan May's squad is just in a good position. And Simi, when I interviewed them after the game today, they're playing with house money because they've been working real hard the last couple of weeks to just make this thing a race. I mean, they had to be perfect in league play for the better part of a month to force this. They basically had to go undefeated since the last time they played Royal. They lost 6-2 in March to Royal. So anyway, I'm looking forward to Friday. I'll be there. And we will bring all the coverage. Maybe we'll do a live. I don't know.
Could be good. Follow along on that
other
Instagram.
Things happening.
Wait, before we go on, I just got to give a shout out to whoever runs the Royal Baseball Twitter, who put out what sounded like a missive from the Civil War before they headed across town.
It's a play on the guy who used to do the Andrew Luck tweets. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's great. Oh, I love that.
So it's great. Yeah, that's why I retweeted it, and I was
so funny.
So
I gotta laugh.
It's great. It's creative. So we'll see what they follow that Twitter account to see what they release ahead of their biggest game of the year on Friday.
Take us to the Marmani League, Joe.
Westlake has won 7 straight games, including 4 straight league games, to lead the action-packed Marmani League by 1 game over Oaks Christian, even though Oaks won their series. Westlake, obviously, you've got no room for error there because you cannot let Oaks Christian tie you, because Oaks will have the tiebreaker there because they won the series 2-1. I love the setup in the Marmani League where they play 3 games in 1 week, and you really test your pitching depth. You really test your concentration. Really hard to sweep. Good team. Every team in that league is good. But, over the course of that season, like, little cracks start to happen. And I think, that'd be a great story one day to talk about, like, the mentality and, what it takes to win that league when you're playing 3, 3-game series is week after week after week against your league opponent, against high quality league opponents. Wainini edged ahead of Santa Paula in the Coastal Canyon League race because the Cardinals dropped a game to Carp, so it's 8-1 against 8-2. Not very many games left in that race, so the Vikings are on, have a shot to win that. And then T-minus 4 or 5 days until we get the decisive moment in the Tri-Valley League baseball race. St. Bonaventure and Foothill Tech are both, as we mentioned earlier in the pod, 6-0. They play Monday and Tuesday, and they'll decide that thing. Softball is kind of cutting.
Get a chance to see one of our athletes of the week, Shane White, from that Foothill Tech team.
And softball's kind of been cut and dry so far. Big moment in the Romani League arrived Wednesday. It's today. Agora knocked off Wesley, gave them their second loss 5-2. That gives our number 1 ranked team, Oaks Christian, a 2-game lead in the Romani League. So it looks like the Lions are on the verge of wrapping up yet another Romani League title. In softball, Simi Valley is leading the Coastal Canyon by 2 games at the halfway mark in that race. 4 games done, 4 more to play. Fillmore has a 1-game edge on Santa Paula in the Citrus Coast League. St. Bonaventure is leading the Tri-Valley at 6-0. That's a really good that's a CIF champion softball team that's got a lot of players back. Notice I didn't mention the Channel League in either of those races. Santa Barbara teams are leading both of those races.
And then we have quite a bit of news from the college ranks yet again, Joe. We've been making our college athletes work for us, and they have been doing great things. So why don't you take us to this Newbury Park alum?
So let's mention Daniela Gayette. She was just named All-ACC First Team Women's Lacrosse. She's been the backbone playing there at the Carrier Dome, one of the nation's top defenses at Syracuse. They hold foes at just 7 goals a game, second best mark of any netminder in the nation. The former Newbury Park goalie was named the ACC Defensive Player of the Week twice this season. She's also on the Tewaaraton top 25, which is essentially that she's on the short list for the best women's lacrosse player in the nation. So, which, if you knew Daniela, Danny's fantastic softball player, tough. I'll say this: goalie in lacrosse is up there with some of the toughest, roughest, most skilled positions in all of sports. It's like center, goal, hockey goalie, and like point guard all wrapped together. And so it's absolutely obviously it's the most important position on the lacrosse field, one of the most important positions in all of sports. So, to be that good at that position just means you're a phenomenal player. We've mentioned Dylan Valentis before. We're going to mention him a million times again over the next couple of months, next couple of years. He is the Baseball America reigning freshman of the year. Potentially, he's on the short list. Speaking of short lists, on the short list for National Pitcher of the Year. Whew. Just struck out a career high 12 in Texas's 10-2 win over Alabama. This is the Westlake lefty a couple of years ago who was just phenomenal. And number 4 in a kind of big moment this weekend, I think it's going to be Friday. Valantis was pitching on Sundays, and they had a rain out, I believe against Auburn. They had a rain out against somebody recently, and he moved from Sunday to Fridays. So, kind of as in your rotation for your weekend series, they move the day that he pitches. So I'm pretty sure the day he's going to pitch this week for number 4 Texas is on Friday, which is important because they're playing Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is partially led by Camarillo's Tommy Gooden, who was an awesome hitter for the Boston Bateman-led Scorpions a couple years ago. He had a big time, I think it was a walk-off grand slam or a walk-off something against rival Tennessee earlier this year. So Tommy's already kind of making a name for himself at Vanderbilt. So I mean, we've talked a lot so far about great, pro baseball players and where guys are doing in the pros. I haven't done as much with the college guys, and I think I got to do that because not only are those guys killing it, but I've been watching Pepperdine on ESPN Plus simply because our boy Josh Woodworth, who we covered in so many sports, football star,
baseball star.
Baseball. This is a guy who is a world champion as like a 15-year-old for the Team USA junior team.
Mm-hmm.
And he is on a heater for Pepperdine, hitting cleanup. The freshman from Ventura High was 9 of 15, 5 runs scored, 4 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a homer. I think it's his second or third career college home run for the freshman in the Waves series win over Loyola Marymount. That's not far away. If you got, check the schedule, get down there to Malibu. It's
that
a great time.
Beautiful, man.
So that's just kind of it's nowhere near like a full representation of what our locals are doing in college baseball. Never mind, we'll get some softball going soon too. And then just a brief kind of what's been happening in pro baseball a little bit. Justin Campbell, who I wrote a story on a couple weeks ago,
the best story keeps getting better, man.
I mean, we haven't talked to Justin yet. I'm going to reach out to him soon. We absolutely, once we get through the high school season, I think that hopefully that becomes like the story of the summer. Because 25-year-old who hadn't pitched since he was 21, former Simi High and Oklahoma State two-way star, threw another 3 shutout hitless innings Tuesday against West Michigan, striking out 4 and walking 1. His ERA is now 0.87 in 10 and a third innings across 4 starts. I say in my tweet about this earlier this week that he doesn't seem long for high A, so I imagine he's going to be headed up to double A soon. Somebody who, let's cross our fingers. If Campbell continues to stay healthy, he's going to be a big league pitcher by next year at some point, maybe this time by next year. We have to, speaking of promotions, Bryce Rayner, the Simi native, he was promoted to high A Western Michigan. Does that ring a bell? His first at bat in high A came against Justin Campbell, and he struck out swinging.
That's awesome.
So that is Simi Valley against Royal High. Well, not actually. Technically, Bryce Rayner played at Harvard Westlake,
right?
But his brother Colton is on the Royal High team this year, and his dad actually played for both Simi and Royal. I mean, it's like
that's awesome.
The Rayner family is like Simi Valley baseball royalty, right? So
royalty, for lack of a better word, right? Pun, maybe intended.
Always intended. He was the 11th overall pick in the 2024 MLB draft. Spent the first 11 games of the season at Single A Lakewood. He's still kind of working his way back from shoulder surgery last June, so we haven't seen. He did hit a ball like 500 feet. He hit 1 homer in Single A, and it literally was like 475 feet. So his shoulder seems pretty strong. He's just kind of got to figure it out a little bit, but he'll be fine. He's only 20, so you had a 25-year-old former Simi star pitching against a 20-year-old. Kid who I'm sure they all played Simi youth baseball.
Yeah.
And then I got to mention Boston Bateman. Yeah, he had a rough second start for high A Hudson Valley, high A
Frederick Keys, man, the Frederick Keys.
Your boys, the Frederick Keys. But he came back really well over the weekend. 3 shutout innings in a 4-1 win over Hudson Valley. The former Camarillo High star struck out 5, allowing 2 hits and a walk. That's Tommy Gooden's former high school teammate. Just to bring it all back around.
All comes back together.
Anything else going on?
We got a couple of things cooking. I mean, so it's for you track fans. If you're here because you want to listen to track, first off, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Second off, we got a lot coming up. We got Ventura County Championships. Then next week we got League Championships. I'll be out there. Joe will be out there. Maybe we'll get Derry out there. You never know. And then
sure, Derry will be somewhere focusing on track.
He's going to be somewhere focusing on track, as he always is. And then we got CIF, and then we got state. So just, follow along for all of that. We're going to be pumping out track content like, there's no tomorrow, because you don't get a season like this every year. So there's that, and then yeah, Joe.
Yeah, I'm going to hit up, obviously, the Royal Simi game is the first of some several huge kind of league matches for baseball, or league hopefully showdowns for baseball and softball that we'll get to in the coming weeks. Other reminders, we've got lacrosse. We should shout out the Newbury Park boys lacrosse team that ended Westlake's 33-game Marmani League off the top of my head.
Yep.
I think that's right. 33-game Marmani League winning streak.
All the way back to 2020. What was that? 2022? Something like that?
Pretty sure it was 2.
It's crazy.
I know Agora was the last team to beat Westlake.
We've gotten to you to the point where you notice it every time now, and you fix it every time. You just can't.
Fixing it before will be the real jump.
Thank you all for joining us for episode 33 of Prep Period. Go follow the show wherever you are watching this. If it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, like and subscribe. It's super helpful for us. Leave a comment telling us what you liked, what you want to hear on the next episode. We would love your feedback. Tell us we look funny. Tell us we pronounce things wrong. All that kind of stuff. And make sure you get yourself a subscription to the Ventura County Star for all of our sports content and everything else. It's more than worth your while, and we will see you next time, same station.
I got one word for you. Tawara-ton.
Peace.
Comes down to this for Thousand Oaks in their season. It is a gift to Martin. Martin gets the first down and more. It's a nice little screen to the left-hand side. One play and see ya later. Caldera dives into the end zone. Touchdown Oxnard. What a fitting way to end that run. He's at the 40. He's at the 20. 10, 5, touchdown.